Did you know that Da Nang in Vietnam has been home to ancient kingdoms, French invasions, and one of the largest US military bases? Today I will uncover the fascinating story of this city, and maybe it will blow your mind. Over 2000 years ago, Da Nang was part of the powerful Champa kingdom, a Hindu-Buddhist civilization that dominated central Vietnam. The Champa people were master traders, connecting Southeast Asia to India and China. Their spiritual and cultural heart was the Mission Sanctuary, where intricate temples were dedicated to Hindu gods like Shiva. These temples are some of Vietnam's oldest structures and the UNESCO World Heritage Site today. By the 15th century, however, the Champa kingdom fell to Vietnamese settlers, expanding southward during the Nam Tien. Da Nang became part of the David Kingdom, marking its first major transformation. By the 17th century, Da Nang had become a growing trading hub, and merchants from Europe, from China and Japan recognized the strategic importance. The Portuguese people were the first Westerners to arrive, brought new goods and ideas, further shaping the city's identity. While the area of Hoi An was the main trading hub at the time, Da Nang deep-water port gradually began attracting larger ships, becoming an increasingly important player in the Vietnam maritime trade. In 1858, Da Nang became the first Vietnamese city to face a French invasion. The French Navy launched an attack on Da Nang, then called Turan, hoping to use the port as a getaway to conquer Vietnam. However, the Vietnamese resistance was fierce, and after months of heavy fighting, French people just abandoned their plans for Da Nang. They shifted their focus on Saigon, but this marked the beginning of nearly a century of French colonial rules. During their occupation, the French introduced new infrastructure, Western education system, and even their language. While French influence wasn't as strong as a larger city like Hanoi or Saigon, traces of this era remain visible in the city's architecture and cultural heritage. Fast forward to the 20th century, and Da Nang once again found itself in the center of a global conflict, this time with the Vietnam War. In 1965, Da Nang became the first landing site for US combat troops, marking a major escalation in the war. The US transformed Da Nang into a massive military hub, building one of the largest air bases in Southeast Asia. This base becomes central to logistics, operation, and medical support for American forces. The war brought devastation to the region, but Da Nang became a place of refuge for displaced families. Despite these challenges, the city has risen from the wartime scars and become a thriving hub for peace and progress. Today, Da Nang is one of the Vietnam's most vibrant and rapidly growing cities. It's famous for the beautiful beaches like Mai Khe and iconic landmarks such as the Dragon Bridge or the Golden Bridge at Bana Hills. From ancient Champa temples and bustling streets, the city represents a perfect blend of the history, the past, and the now or the future. So Da Nang is one of those special places on earth who witnessed a lot through history. And what amazed me is like people here keep moving forward and just praying and hoping for peace. That's all they want. And I think people are pretty happy here.
Là người Pháp, là người Việt Nam là như nhau.
That's make Da Nang a really enjoyable place for traveling or living. I already live here for 1 year, wow. If you plan you to live here or traveling or visit Da Nang, Anna and I packed our best recommendation in a travel guide. And this travel guide is very cool because it has some pro tips inside that are unseen anywhere else on the internet, I believe. You could find this travel guide in the description down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment below what amazed you the most about Da Nang history. And if you want to see more or know more tips about Vietnam, could be very useful for you, you can click on this video just right here.